Good day! I'm Rosan Suruan from BTBT Ed FSM 3B. Now, I will going to present my progress portfolio and Prof Ed of 10 for my final examination under my qualification in Food and Beverage Services and C3. So, in my portfolio, they have all compiled form and I will show and discuss each part. So for the table of contents, let's start for introduction, which is cover page, and the second is qualification for the background of food and beverage services NC3, hotel and restaurant, and TNA for 1.1 for self-assessment check, and tabulated 1 for respondent profile, tabulated 2 for TNA result, and tabulated and TNA for 1.2 for current competences versus required competences, TNA Form 1.3 for training needs, training plan, training facilities and checklist, trainees record book, trainees progress sheet, and training session evaluation form, and the interpretation and analysis of program evaluation, and the last is narrative report. So for my qualification in Food and Beverage Services NC3, I choose the Food and Beverage Services NC3 qualification because I am passionate about hospitality and enjoy working in service-oriented and environments. And I already have experience and exposure to basic service procedure such as table setting, taking orders, and assisting guests during class activities and training. And also, this qualification is relevant to my future teaching career because it's provide me with practical knowledge and industry-based skills that I can teach to my future students, especially in PBL. And this course helped me understand that work-based learning is about applying knowledge in real workplace situations. So for TNA 1.1 for self-assessment check, this part of TNA is all about the self-checking. Trainees are asked to reflect on their own abilities and measure their skills and knowledge based on a certain standards. It gives them the chance to recognize their strength, such as being good at customer service, and their weaknesses like being unsure in preparing beverage. Self-assessment is very useful because it gives the trainee a clear picture of themselves. It also gives the trainers insight into how the students see their own skills, which helps in planning the right support and training activities. So let's move for the TNA 1.2, the training gaps. The goes by identifying the gaps between the trainers' current abilities and skills they need to achieve the job requirements. It systematically points out what is missing and what areas must be improved. For example, a student may already know how to set table properly but may lack knowledge for handling the guest reservations. And by documenting these gaps, TNA 1.2 becomes a structured guide, and it helps both trainers and trainee prioritize which skills must be developed first in order to be effective in real work situations. So for TNA 1.3, the training needs, this is the last part of TNA focuses on identifying the gaps, specific training needs, and gather all the results from the self-assessment and gap analysis. Then highlight which training program should be given. This ensures that the training provided it is not wasted but directly respond to the needs of the students. So let's come now for our fourth training plan, which involved the 10 respondents for BTBT Ed FSM 3A,
and it includes the training, trainees training requirements, training activity tasks, mode of training, staff, the facilities, tools, and equipment, and also the venue and assessment method and the date and time. So the training plan is a guide and help trainees learn the skills and knowledge they need for food and beverage service. It shows that what activities will be done and what tools or materials needed and the schedule for training. So let's move for training facilities list or checklist. For the list of tools, equipment, and materials includes all the things needed for hands-on training and food and beverage service. This may include the tray, plates, glasses, utensils, table napkins, linens, serving carts, coffee makers and blenders, and other food and drink service tools. This item helps students practice real work tasks safely and correctly, just like in hotel and restaurants. Also, the training facilities as recommended space requirements for the various teaching or learning as areas are follow. The example for teaching and learning areas is the student or trainee working space. The size in meters is 1 times 1 meter, and the total areas in square meters is 25 square meters, and the total overall workshop area is 156 square meters. So let's come now for trainees record book. So the trainees record book is compilation of the trainees number. Example for trainees number is the respondent number 2, and the name, the trade area which is hotel and restaurant, institution is which is the Camarines or Polytechnic Colleges, the qualification is food and beverage service NC3, and the training duration and the vocational instruction which is supervisor's name. So let's come now for the last 10A, the trainees progress sheet, which is composed of the unit of competency, training activity, training duration, example of 4 hours, date started September 5, date finish is September 5, and rating competent, and the trainer's initial and supervisor's initials. So for training session evaluation form, it is used to gather participant feedback on a training session, a workshop, or some other programs. That assessment helps trainers, facilitators, and even organizations understand how well the training has met its objectives, where improvements can be made, and whether the training has been successful in achieving its objectives. So for the interpretation and analysis of program evaluation, the overall result from both the institutional evaluation and the industry partner evaluation show a consistently high level of performance as reflected in the weighted mean scores and verbal interpretations. So for institutional evaluation, the institutional evaluation yielded a total weighted mean of 4.25, which falls under very good or very satisfactory. And for the industry partner evaluation, similarly, the industry partner evaluation recorded a total weighted mean of 4.27, also interpreted as very good or very satisfactory. So for the overall interpretation, combining both evaluation, the grand mean is 4.26, which again corresponded to very good and very satisfactory.
So for the summarization of my narrative report, by doing this, all form is my responsibility as a student to accomplish the activities or tasks rather just to pass this course, but also I'm doing this because they can help me to acquire knowledge and skills and that I use in my future career or jobs, also can bring it to real work application.